பறவைகளாம் அம்மா பறவைகளாம் தந்தினந்தேதி பறவைகளாம் சொல்லம்மா சொல்லு பலவிதமா வந்து ரங்குதம்மா இச்சையில்ல ரெண்டு மணிப்புறவும் தந்தினந்தேதி மணிப்புறவும் சொல்லம்மா சொல்லு இன்பமுத கவர செய்ய.
Welcome to the Folk Chronicles, a podcast like no other that takes you on a journey across the country, from forests to malls, from huts to offices. As we venture into the world of folklore, we will be focusing on tales, traditions, riddles, rituals, music, and all that our grandmothers taught us. This podcast is presented by the students of the Capstone Project, Folklore in Context, from the Department of English and Cultural Studies, Christ deemed to be University, Bannerghatta Road Campus.
So welcome to Folk Chronicles. Today we are here with Immaculate Antony we're going to be talking about traditional games. So my first question is traditional games. We have always, as a child, we have played traditional games and we didn't really understand the importance of it. It was more like just because it's something interesting, it's something fun to play with. So how do you think traditional games actually affect us in a family or when some of us are playing? So what are if you can give us some examples also of traditional games and how they are actually impacting our lives?
Yeah, actually traditional games, like you rightly said, they need not be anything else, just a child's play. Okay, and olden days it was not just for children. Okay, everybody used to play. Okay, if you remember going to a grandmother's house, the first thing which will come to you is games you played with neighbors in the village and with people. Maybe the second thing, first thing definitely must be food. Okay, so normally we just play. Okay, and you need not know anything other than that. Okay, so even our aim is we recreate traditional games only for recreation, and the side benefit is bonding. Okay, games are one thing which you can play with anybody, anytime, anywhere, and it enables bonding. Okay, so what we realized is olden days grandparents used that as a tool to bring everybody together. Okay, see, 3-year-old used to play with 15-year-old. 15-year-old will used to play with aunts and uncles and all that. They all used to play with a grandmother. Grandmother and 3-year-old never had any inhibitions to play any games. There are hundreds of games they can play. Similarly, grandfather and children, aunts, uncles. 3-year-old never felt, how do I play with 15-year-old. Everybody used to sit together as a family and play. Definitely it was recreational. And second thing is, it was enabling that bonding, belongingness. And youngsters looked up to the elder ones. Because youngsters looked up to the elder ones behaved, isn't it? They behaved. And the grandparents also, that is how they taught that belongingness, bonding, waiting for each other, patience, waiting for your turn, and collaborative way, accepting defeat and winning gracefully. All that was there in our olden day games. Okay, so now when we play, we actually realize they are much more than that. They also sharpen your lot of interpersonal skills. Okay, like logical thinking, patience, problem solving skills, and even simple things like hand-eye coordination, mental maths, memory, multitasking, lot of things. So
how do you, I want to ask this, how do you define a traditional game, and how is it different from the games we play in general in this generation?
That is easy.
Yeah, in urban spaces.
That is easy. I just define traditional game as games people played before TV and mobile. That's all is my traditional game. So it actually goes back to even 2000 BC, 4000 BC, whatever game we find in olden days. That's how I define. So right now that's traditional game. But if you draw a line, even after computers are invented, that snakes game which you played can be a traditional game for you guys. The old Prince game which they played on can be a traditional game. So but I draw the line at before TV and or without using any electronics equipment, or without using any special boards and too many rules. Anything you played is a traditional game. So that's my simple definition.
There are a lot of games that we play nowadays with stuffs, with artificial stuffs like plastics and all, very simple. If you take Ludo under consideration, or chess, but which have their roots in traditional games very much. So how do you think that has changed with time? like these traditional games coming into urban spaces, into our lives, and like even something as simple as a piece is changing from those shells or the stones to like plastic pieces, fibers. So like, how is the change taking place and how is it impacting us?
Yeah, I am not sure. Actually, if it has changed, I would have been happy. Except chess and one or two games, right? Like Ludo, like you said, Snakes and Ladder.
Yeah.
I don't think many of them survived. Okay, many of them are completely forgotten, and modernization is fine. So even that example which you gave, chess and all, right? Chess must have changed every region in over 1,000 years or whatever. They would have changed. It was chaturanga. I am not a historian, so I shouldn't comment too much on how it is changed and all that. But there are some games, roots are our ancient games. Snakes and Ladder again, our traditional Snakes and Ladder is Paramabadam or Jain's Snakes and Ladder, which is with 133 lines and lot of religious, social, so many meanings in that. Like Britishers took it, simplified it and called it a Snakes and Ladder, and it's only 1 to 100 and all that, which is okay, and that became more popular. Same thing happened with our Ludo also, Pagade. It was our Pagade. We Indians used to play Pagade with so many variations. Pagade which is played in Mahabharata, and it is Pachisi in some North India, played with shells. Everything has got different rules also. We had our own variations like that, right? Then same thing like in Tamil Nadu side, they played it as Chokkatan. That is another Dayam kind of variation. Chopper, Chaukabara, Charsau, lot of states played differently. But again, Britishers took it, cut it short. I can show you the board. Cut it short and simplified the rules further. Already our rules are simple. All our Indian games will have only 2 rules, unlike your modern board games or but 2 rules. The fun and logic and strategy and all comes from the opponent. The opponent is in par with you or better than you, like chess. The game will be more interesting, more challenging. So it was like that. But now they took it short and they called it as Ludo, and it went all over the world, and we know only it as Ludo. Okay, so we are trying to recover it because that is also our part of culture, right?
Definitely.
So we are trying to, and it is the reflection of society at that point in time. So we are trying to bring it back at the same way. And to be honest, I don't think olden day games changed, and maybe somebody made it as an online game or whatever it may be. But pretty much it is the same. We are trying to revive it in the same way. Same wooden boards, same cloth boards, same kind of shells they used to play. That's what we are trying to do. But I will be happy even if you modernize and they survive in the same form. We'll be happy. Modernization doesn't mean only playing with a computer and with a computer, because if you actually hold a stone, throw and catch, your interpersonal skills improve.
Yeah.
You do the same thing using one finger with the phone, may be fun, but some parts maybe you are missing.
Yeah. So last time we talked, you were talking about these rituals which are also games, like wedding rituals. You were talking about how a suit.
When did you meet me?
We met like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. That's very good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you remember that.
Yeah. So you talked about how male suitors are actually selected. So can you talk about that? How male suitors were selected through games?
So in olden days, right, our games were the portals kind of thing. So there are a lot of beliefs. See, there are a lot of things which happens in the society, right? They are not documented properly. Then we may not have much proof also. Games goes back to even olden days, that Silk Route and travelers came down to trade with us and all. No, it was believed that they selected the worthy person to do business with using games. Because games used to, because in the Silk Route and that coastal area and all, no, you will see these games drawn on ports and where that business centers were there. No, near ports normally business centers were there. So they are coming with shipload full of things, right? How do you find a trustworthy man who's smart enough to sell but not smart enough to cheat me? How do you select a person like that? Because you don't know anything about them. Normally what they do is they will eat and play a game with them. In the game, normally you guys play and see. When you play a game, you may be a CEO, you may be a grandfather, you may be anybody. When you play, all your inhibitions will go. You will go back to your childhood and your true self. Okay, when you play, automatically they will come to know about your original character. Okay, is he cheating? Is he smart enough? Is he my worthy opponent? Is he honest enough? Is he is he got enough virtues to accept defeat and this? And is he smart enough to even to sell my idea, because you have to be smart. Decision making should be there. Risk taking ability you will know by the way you play games, and a lot of things. Decision making, what if analysis, lot of things you will come to know. So that is how they find the person with whom to do business with. Then they entrust their entire load, and that guy also entrusts his load with him to go and sell and come and exchange and continue to do business. And same way in olden days, right? Again, it is my belief that grandparents used games. Now 2 people in a room, 20 fights. But olden days, 20 people used to stay in a room, no fights. They used to stay amicably. So they used games for that. And they must have realized these games actually show the characteristic, strength, whatever it may be. So it is believed, right, even now, right? Like you said, marriage, not only for marriage, there are games after funeral also. So these olden days, nowadays you have brokers, you have matchmaking websites and whatever, you have so many websites to, you go on date, find out about a person and all that. Olden days, it's families who decided who should get married. So how do you decide the virtue of a person who are getting married? So for guys, it is usually entire family, different families from villages meet at the temple or temple festival. That is why if you see, temples are usually common at a scenic place, on hilltop or somewhere. Every village will go there. And because olden days no food was there, they will also like cook and give it to the deity, and they'll give it to the fellow human beings. Same way, they will also go on after eating, after praying to God, then they have to sit and play. That is where they will meet new people, new families. They will exchange news about villages, news about who are all eligible people to get married, and to know about their families and all that. So for guys, usually it is body strength, mental strength. It is not any game, right? Even games with body strength and all, you still need mental strength. You still need so many other abilities also, decision making. So many things are needed, even for body games. So usually it is to like Jallikattu or Kambala, it is usually fight against an animal, which is heavier animal and all that. So if they can handle that animal, they used to think maybe they can handle my daughter also. Or they used to think maybe they will save the daughter from the bullies, whatever. So he can take care. So that is one. Other thing is, guys have to lift a very big stone above their head and throw it. It means his body, mental strength, everything. He can handle the load of family, maybe. I don't know. That is what they decided to do. And same way for girls, there are set of games. Like, 5 stones. Any of you know 5 stones?
Yeah, we play.
You have to throw the stone, catch it.
Yeah.
Then you have to throw the stone, take 2. Throw the stone, take 3, take 4, take 5, like that. You have to play. You have to manage that 5 stones, and you should never drop any stone. You should play so many in your turns, levels in that. Okay, so if a girl can play that, if she can play only 1 stone, it means she can only take care of herself. At least she will be clean and neat and, full makeup, he will be alright. She can carry herself well. If she can handle 2 stones, then maybe she will take care of husband also. Maybe give him some food or something like that. If she can take care of 3 stones, it means kids also she will take care. But still it will be a nuclear family. If she can do 4 stones, it means she can take care of in-laws, mother-in-law, sister-in-law and all that. If she can do 5 stones, then they will marry her, because she can juggle. She can take care of family and maybe neighbors also. If she can handle 7 stones, they will think she is an asset to the entire village. So they will give money and marry her. So that is one. And the other thing is that Pallanguli board, you guys know, that Pallanguli, Aluguri money, that is there in every culture, not only Indian traditional game. It is there in Egypt, it is there in Africa, it is there everywhere, Southeast Asia. So that game also, it accurately reflects society at that point in time. If a girl can play that, it means she can learn to live within the means, because fixed income, within that she can live. She can manage her resources, she can save money, she can make money, she can feed the family and take care of friends and relatives. So like that. So every culture, agricultural families, they treated that game differently. It is like sowing, watering, growing and harvesting, like that. So, and the way they treat the lesser one reflects, how they treat the lesser ones in the society. Okay, in Indian societies, if somebody got less on their side, we will feed them. In other societies, they'll grab from them and put it in their money box. Something like that. So, and many times, this entire Olympics is funeral games. Okay, actually, that is how they decided, like Bahubali, it is true. They will give sequence of games just to see the next king's mental strength, body strength, how he handles things and all that. Then entire country will go to him. Because if you keep dividing the country will become weak. Opponents can eat you up. So that is how they did. So there are loads of such games.
Yeah, so like the funeral games thing actually interested me a lot. Like, so in different cultures we see some cultures death is seen as a sadness, and other cultures death is celebrated. So, and you said that the Olympic games are actually funeral games. So, like, can you elaborate on that, like, how they are connected?
Yeah. So what happens now? Usually, death in many cultures, death is like passing on to the next life only. Most of the cultures. So they actually celebrated it, one. And second thing is, one is they celebrated their life, and second thing is who will carry forward that legacy. Who is the worthy person to carry forward that legacy. So if they don't find a worthy person to carry forward, then the country will be divided, or enemies will come and capture you and all that. So how do you select a worthy person? Okay, anyway, 2-3 people will be aspiring to take over that position. No, it need not be always the first one. First one may be a weaker one. It may not always be like, they cannot put a rule like that. So what they do, there will be sequence of games. Like most of the Olympic games are actually to show their mental strength and decision making, and even that war strength, that sword thing and so many other things. Body flexibility, mind sharpness. Okay, any body game you can't play if your mind is not strong. And if you don't have strategy, you don't have that dedication and training and all that, right? So they will have sequence of games. That is why Mahabharat is a legal and right thing to do. If they have not played that Pagade, they would have gone to war. Yes. Many people would have died. That is why Dharma did it right by playing till the end. Because they played in where? They didn't play in a bar. They played in the court, in front of the Pandits. Okay, so that is the even now people decide who inherits it based on games and sports. Even in Kerala, like that boat races, right? Whoever wins, they get the right to fish in that lake. Do you guys know that? So that is how they decided. Even today, lot of hill, what do we call them, tribals, they use dice game to decide who will get the grazing right to that field. Because both of them it's not sufficient. So somebody will go there and somebody will move out. So like that, the Pandits or Gurus or whoever is the body to decide the next king, they will design the sequence of games. Like Bahubali, that madam decided, no? So something like that. They will have sequence of games, not only one type of game. Then whoever comes up the winner, everybody will listen to him or her. So that is how they select. And same thing, if it is for the king, it is like that. Even for a rich person, when they die also, they will pass on it to the worthy person. Okay, so the worthy person is decided based on these kind of games.
So, like we can see that obviously in your initiative, most of the things that you have created and you like used to play the games with, they're very much renewable and like ecologically also much better than the plastic pieces, fiber pieces or metal pieces that we use these days. So can you talk about it? Can you talk about your initiative, how it is ecologically, like why it is a better alternative?
Yeah. So when we want to see, here none of the games are created by me. We only recreated them. So when we try to recreate them, we try our level best. Like I said, right, I define my games, traditional games as before whatever, 1970, 80, 90, before TV days. Before TV days, we didn't have that much of plastic, we didn't have that much of metal, we didn't have, all the traditional games are played using locally available material. So if you see, Pallanguli is played with tamarind seeds in inside Tamil Nadu, with shells in coastal area, with chenna seeds in Karnataka. So people used locally available materials. So we also thought when we revive it, we have to revive it using locally available material, local artisans, because even artisans forgot how to make these games and all that. And eco-friendly. And grandmother used to draw, or she used to stitch it in the cloth. Okay, cloths were reused like anything. Okay, sari becomes half sari becomes a skirt becomes a blouse, blouse becomes like whatever. So they never like, they always like reused. Now only we have to say reuse, reduce and all that. But nobody has to tell them. They know that automatically. So we thought we will also do that. We will, as much as possible, we use eco-friendly materials like olden days and local artisans. And they will anyway come for, that is why we may not get major business, because if they buy one toy from us, it will come for ages.
Okay.
Same way in grandparents' house. Grandparents' house, one aluguli mane is there. They use the entire family plays for entire this thing, and this also inherited by first daughter or whoever is worthy, and she will carry the tradition. So that is why as much as possible, and we are trying our level best, and there are sometimes it's not absolutely possible, then we will use, for example, that tenikite ring is still in rubber, but rubber was there even before TV days also, and it is Indian rubber. So whatever is available we buy and sell, but as much as possible we use only eco-friendly material like how olden days they used.
So just one question out of curiosity. So do you make all of these by hand or like?
Yeah, we get them made. 90% of our materials, if it is available in the market, we will buy and sell bulk.
Okay.
But unfortunately, Indian games are not available in India or anywhere. So we have to get them made. So we undergo a lot of struggle. Our major struggle is only that, because artisans don't find enough business in this, so they move away to a lot of other things and they leave this profession and go and do something else and all that. So that is our major struggle. We, for example, Pallanguli is made in specific way in Madurai. It will be in the fish shape. So it took a lot of traveling and lot of convincing people who moved away to make that harvest things and so many other things. No, blacksmiths and all, they moved away. We don't get carpenters who can make this. They all started making all that chapati roller and those kind of things, because that's where money is. So it took lot of time for us to convince them. And even now we struggle to give them regular business. Otherwise, all said and done, for the artisans, end of the day, food on the plate only. Okay, so it took lot of convincing and lot of investment from our part and training, and we brought them back to make some of them. And we go to, for cloth means we go to Karur, Coimbatore and such places where we get pure cotton, handloom, or sometimes we take machine loom also, but at least it is pure cotton. We will take that. So as much as possible we try. And Channapatna also we go and we customize our toys, because people only make toys which are standard, but they are not games. Toys and games are different things. To make them as a games, we might need some customizations, some things and all. So as much as possible we use MDF, or even Channapatna wood. I think you guys know it's replenishable. It's replenishable. It grows like a crop. So you cut, it grows, then you cut, you use, because we don't use mature tree. So that is what we do. So it's still a lot of work, because it is we have revived 150 games and we work with almost 30 to 50 artisans, and they don't work full time with us. So it's a big struggle, and we train them so much, and they will find some other job, and they all of a sudden they leave it and go. Then we have to find somebody else and train. So that's where we are.
So this actually brings me to my next question, which is that how do you create awareness about traditional games amongst this new generation? This new generation basically, because even in our generation we used to go out and play and at least talk to people, but post COVID this new generation is completely like very much into the digital and social media and everything. So how do you get these people to
I
engage
really
with this
don't
game?
know, but what we do is see, every drop counts. No, all we do is we just go and play with people every Saturday, Sunday, and we have been doing this consistently for the past 7-8 years. So it is one at a time, they say, no? At least one person at a time, one family at a time. When you convince them that these games are okay, maybe they might go and convince somebody else, maybe they will go and play with somebody else. That's what we do. So every drop also matters. Now every drop can only create some sort of waves, that's all, however temporary that may be. That's what we do. We are doing our bit, and we are just hoping that society will do their bit, because it's every single drop counts. No, say like you guys, you are all other drops. So every drop counts, and whoever listens, other drop, right? Every drop will make some wave. Maybe that's enough, maybe that's not enough. We don't know, but we have to try our bit.
So I have one more question, that how did you get into this traditional games, and like what inspired you? How did you start?
So actually, like I said, right, I am also like a pre-TV time kid, right? And in our generation, actually it is not games. Once that industrial revolution started, no, so it is like, if you have to come out of poverty, you have to study. Only that is the only way to out of that. So we actually belong to a poorest of poor family. We are not even middle class or lower middle class. We are upper poor class. So my parents are, and I am first daughter. So my parents always used to tell me study and work hard and go prosper kind of thing. So I studied. I did BSc Physics. Then again in our generation, again it's not feminism or whatever, girls are got married soon and sent away from home. So after 10th my mother actually wanted me to get married and go. But my dad supported. Do 12th I did. After 12th again my mom wanted me to do teachers training, join as a teacher elementary school. Then they both are elementary school teachers, so they want me to do that and get out of house. Again I went to my dad. My dad said okay, study. I did BSc. My mom got really worried because in olden days if girls did BSc they have to find a guy above her, very impossible, and you have to give that much of money also. So my mother now got worried. She said okay, this is it, B.Ed, high school, get married, leave the house. Again I went to my dad. My dad allowed me to do MCA. So the thing is, after MCA, again those days it's all like IT boom and what millennium bug and things like that. We all got a great career. Okay, so I forgot to come back or even get married or think about life and all that. So I had a very good career. I used to travel the world and solve big problems for big companies, and I was happy. What I was not aware is my mom and dad was totally now don't know what to do. Okay, they thought the connection between them and me is gone. I am a good daughter. I used to talk to them once a while. Then every time they will say, oh, what is Christmas when daughter is not there? I used to be some places, UK, US, traveling the world, solving big problems and all that. But I never realized that they were missing me. And I never realized that I am missing them too, because I was busy with career and all that. One fine day, this continued for 20 years. After 20 years, one fine day, my father passed away. Okay, so that is the time when I came back home. He left one Palanguli board for me. Then that is the time my mother got opportunity to get back to me. Okay, because until then I am not even there to take her wrath or anger and all. No? So she gave me solidly saying that your papa regretted allowing you to study. Because of that he thought he lost you. He repeatedly used to tell me, I should have listened to you. At least our daughter will be our daughter now. Now we lost a daughter, like that he used to tell. You never used to talk to him. Then I used to tell, no, every time I call, every time he used to run and take the phone. And with that, you guys can relate, I think, with the dad and daughter, no, we don't have anything to talk. So he will come and pick the phone and he will say, Papa, I'll say, Appa. Then he will say, nothing will be there. I'll pause for a while and say, okay, give the phone to Amma. Why did you pick up? Then he will give the phone. Then my mom used to tell, if she is not talking, why can't you talk? He'll say, I have nothing to talk. So he got the board thinking that when I come home, we can sit and play the game. That game will go for 20 minutes. There is no need to talk. At least my daughter will be sitting there with me. That's what he told. I don't know. My mother is another drama queen. That's what my mother told me. Okay. But you were never there. So your dad regretted his decision. And he said, I was right. So I know she's getting back to me. But that is truth. No? Truth hurts a lot. After that, I couldn't get back to my work. So I was sitting with that board, I got into depression. Then again my mother has to bring me out of that depression. Then earlier I never used to visit any of the friends, relatives, nothing. After that I used to visit every relative's house, and people also again same problem like my dad. We live in two different worlds. They don't have anything to talk. So they will talk about their childhood, what they had with my mother, my father, what games they played. So then I gathered few games. Then I thought, okay, this games is a talking point between generations, between different cultures, different background. So I learned few games from them. I gathered few games, dusted and taken few games, then came back to Bangalore. Then my mom told me, go and play with some school children. So that I went and played. And first time when I went to play with them, I paid them money because I didn't even know. I went and asked the school. Then they said 5,000 because I was paid by hour. So I didn't know 5,000 is for an hour or a month or whatever. Then I said, can I pay 5,000? They said 5,000 for a month, come and play. I was happy, they were happy. That is how we started. Next month only they told me, no, now we will pay you. It doesn't work like that. We will pay you. You are the service provider. We will pay you like that. That day I went home very happy. In Tamil there is a saying, people are paying you money to eat sugarcane. So karumbu tinga kuliyan. So I went and told my mother, see, they are paying me money to play with children. See, I've doubly benefited and all that. then there is no looking back, because that school is the first one who realized the benefits of these games, and they are the ones who taught me. Now we could see, many times they used to think, last period they gave me, children used to look around, look out for parents to come. Now when I started playing, parents started looking in why children are not coming. Then parents came in and started playing. Now Aya started looking out, why are these guys not going, when can I lock the house, like that. So that is when the school realized it. This is the first time we realized our children listen, they can understand rules, they can sit, they can play with each other, they have patience, they can wait for each other, lot of such things. Then I had lot of doubts to see that this is the thing which I wanted to do. So this is how Immaculate, who doesn't even know a single game, started reviving 150 games, and who doesn't even talk to anybody. I used to be me and my system. I never used to talk to anybody also. I used to think my work should talk. So even now I feel games should talk. I shouldn't talk, but I do talk a lot.
It's a podcast.
So I have to talk.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so do you still go to schools?
I still
now?
go to schools. Now schools pay me to go and play with them. Yes, I still go to schools, and schools come here. You must have seen our place, no?
Yeah.
Schools bring their children. We do train the trainer. We have worked with most of the colleges. Even Christ University, Bannerghatta Road, we did a 10-hour session for, I think, liberal arts and somebody. We did. And we did even Bannerghatta, Christ University, Hosur Road. We did one day event for SVP. And we did St. Joseph's. We did again one full day session. Everything is paid by college or students. And then Bangalore University, we have done events. RV College, Mysore Road. This Friday, Saturday we had a stall and a session. Then Reva University, we are doing one full day event. We train the trainers, students. They call it a schools. Everything as a school. School of Arts, School of Commerce, School of Management. So we train every school in 2 games, and they conduct annual event. So second year we are doing, and we work with lot of schools, TVS schools, and there is LRIS in Udupi. Whoever calls. Outstation we will do only train the trainer. Mysore 2 schools, and Bangalore normally they don't go for train the trainer. We even go outstations where schools come. We go make people play. And like I said, right, it's educators and others who realize the benefits, and they are the ones who told these are all the benefits of playing the game. I said, okay, for me, if you play and go back to your childhood, make memories, that's enough for me. If you get any additional benefits, well and good. Otherwise also you have to play just for the sake of playing, and bonding, and for relationship, and for fun, and for recreation, isn't it? And for memory.
Thank you so much. It was really nice to meet you first at Ragikan, and you gave us this opportunity here also to come and have an actual.
Thank you so very much for coming.
No, that's.
You guys are our hope actually, because at least somebody is trying to understand and take it forward and all. No? So that's what I meant. Every drop counts. Okay, and thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll talk to you again later. Thank you.
Through the Capstone project, we aim to offer insider interpretations of local folk traditions and practices through the lenses of global, theoretical, and methodological frameworks. As this episode comes to an end, let's immerse ourselves in the enchanting stories and rich heritage that transcend time. I trust your folklore adventure with us was truly captivating. So let the melodies linger in the air. Folklore, timeless beyond compare. They are the soulful echoes of our yore, a chorus of heritage forevermore. Until we meet again.
premer bhaab jane na tar shonge nai lena dena o je jon premer bhaab jane na tar shonge nai lena dena খাটি সোনা চাইরা দে নাই নকল সোনা সেজন সোনা চেনে না ও সেজন মানিক চেনে না ফুটা কাটা মানিক পাইল রে অতল পানি ফেলিয়া দিল রে 7 রাজার ধন মানিক হারাইয়া ও ভাই 7 রাজার ধন মানিক হারাইয়া সুতা কাটা তা তো মন জানে না, সেজন সোনা চেনে না, সেজন মানি চেনে না।